Good morning, U.S. tennis peeps. I am the Squinch. This is a mishit tennis hitting sesh. Let's get into it. Yeah. Let's start over on that. Pretend like I just turned it on. Nope. I'm gonna be right back because I don't even have my lights correct. Be right back. All right. Well, that was a disastrous start. So let's try again. Hello, U.S. tennis fans. I am the Swinch. This is a mishit tennis hitting sesh. Let's talk about U.S. tennis and our top players. Without further ado, let's jump over here. Okay, couple little housekeeping first. Number one, um, we're going to switch from following the top 50 to following the top 25 in the world because there's just too many matches. It's just too much. So there is some manual parts of what I'm trying to do here. So basically our roster is thin because we've made the criteria to get into the mishit tennis stable more difficult. Only top 25. So that leaves us just 5 people on the male side. Taylor Fritz, Tommy Paul, Ben Shelton, Francis Tiafo, and Sebastian Corda. We've lost Nakashima and Mickelson and Giron, which is okay. Nakashima is going to be top 25 at some point soon. I mean, Nakashima and Giron and Mickelson are knocking at the door, so hopefully this roster will go up soon. And then on the women's side, doing the same thing, knocks out a bunch of people. Ashlyn Kruger, Peyton Stern, Sophia Kennan, McCartney Kessler. The other ones weren't there. So, but we still got a 6-person stable here. So we got Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula, Madison Keys, Emma Navarro, Danielle Collins, Amanda Anisimova. So it's a pretty big stable still, although I don't think Collins is going to be there for that long. She doesn't sound that. I don't know. I'm not sure she's fully into it this year, or I'm not sure that she's really playing for results the way she has in years past. She's, which isn't to say at all that she's like mailing it in or half-assed in it. She's a professional that plays really good tennis and can make a lot of money on tour. Even if her yearly goals aren't to win the 4 majors, she can still have a very successful season and work very hard at certain types of goals. We just don't know what they are. But yeah, she hasn't been playing that much to the beginning of the year. Her results haven't been that great. She's been slipping in the rankings. You can see, high of last year at 9. Starts off this year at 11. Notice there's no new thing today because it's a 2-week 1,000 tournament, so the rankings don't update. Or maybe they updated, I just didn't care. I don't know exactly. So anyways, that's that. That's also important because hopefully my playbill will start coming out soon, which is also something that's going to need to be updated every day. So instead of having 10 female U.S. players to update, I'll only have 6. It's just, yeah, I found that I've got to find places to squeeze, like the effort because, right, like I can't do anything on TikTok or Instagram yet because I don't even have time to deal with those platforms. I'm still figuring out X and Blue Sky and how to use those effectively. So I've got my work cut out for me there. So there's lots of things I'm just blowing off, throwing way down the road. So, anyways, what am I trying to say next? I'm trying to say, okay, let's look at the results from yesterday, which were fucking terrible. So let's bring up you and just go to completed. Let's go into Paribus Open and let's just deal with 4 matches at a time. So this is yesterday's match. Now remember, if you Didn't see any of these matches. Yesterday was weird because there was a bunch of rain delays. There was a big one that started the day late, so all the matches were pushed back, and then there was a couple more throughout the day. It was a stop-start type situation, and that's a different mentality you got to take to play well when you're waiting around playing half a match coming out. Like that's not easy from a granted, every player's dealing with the same problems, the same issues. It's not like it's for one and not the other, but it does mess with you a little bit to have to do start stop stuff like that, I'm sure. But anyways, we had a terrible day. Like we had three Americans in action yesterday: Marcus Giron, Tommy Paul, Jessica Pegula. They all lost. Um, it was just, I mean, we got four playing going today. Out of the roster, it's hard to lose three at this stage of the tournament. You would have liked to see some move on, but it is what it is. So let's take a look at how they did. Let's start with, see, Marcus Giron, technically we shouldn't be talking about because he's not in it, but he played Arthur Fils, who was ranked 20th, a young gun from France, really good player. Like, everybody's expecting him to be top 10 by the end of the year, basically. I would say put him, Fonseca, maybe even Nicholson and Nakashima, Shelton. These are all young up and comers that are like hitting the shit out of the ball, and people want to see which of those guys are going to end up at Sinner and Alcaraz's level. So we don't know yet. All right, so Fees, Duran got a set in the middle, but and Medvedev just handled Tommy Paul. That's in 1 hour and 15 minutes. Yikes. So, anyways, it is what it is. If I use the highlights here, I'll get straight. Oh, I love it. And he's got his green shorts on with the black tights. I think I'm going to get.
Oh, wow. What a point that was from Medvedev. You don't often see it.
Okay, good to know that that is quick video. We'll have to do a test. I'll do a test at the end of today's stream. I'm going to put a couple of stuff that I think may or may not be copyright stricken into this video and see what happens. That might be one of them. So anyways, let's just go over here to the stats. Oh, you know what? I also kept this up because look at this fucking monstrosity. ATP and the WTA have the worst fucking, look, just big ad over it. Oh my God. Have the worst websites I've ever seen. I know I've seen a lot of shitty websites. I've built a lot of websites over the years professionally before I started becoming a YouTube content creator. No, basically I worked for a lot of big corporate places that build big stuff like this, and I've worked on the UI side, so I know like, and you don't get this level of shit unless your business side, your business users are totally fucking incompetent. This is so obvious that there's a fucking bunch of idiots that all get to sign off on shit and check off on that's what they want. And there's a ton of people like literally their whole job is just deciding on telling like what the developers to put on the website or coming up with fucking dumbass ideas. And it's perfectly come to fruition where their website is just a bunch of barf. Like nobody can even who the fuck even knows what's going on here. Look at it, it never stops. Look at it, it's just shit after shit after shit. Yeah, whoever the fucking business users are that fucking sign off on this shit or give decisions, you should fire every last one of them. Whoever fucking builds this fucking ATP site. I guess that would be like the product owner, but it's probably product owners probably fucking just beat to death. It's probably all the fucking idiots that the product owner has to go try to explain shit to. They're just like, oh no, will you keep making my site worse? I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah. That's how you end up with this. So I had to just rant like that for a second because nobody listens or watches this. So why not? ATP, people in charge of your website. I'm not calling the developers out. A lot of these widgets all seem to work correctly. I mean, it's pretty well done, amazing. I mean, who knows cross browser, but it all seems to the fucking business users, the people who think they're like their job title is like chief digital officer or something ridiculous like that, like director of digital. Fucking idiots. All right, enough of that. All right, so I came over here and pulled this up because I wanted to pull a couple, yeah, the two matches up and just see if we can see anything. Now, when I pulled the stats up for usually, because I don't know much about tennis, other than I played most of my life, like from a teaching perspective, analysis perspective, journalistic perspective, I'm not the person you should be listening to. There's plenty of other people you should be listening. So when I pull out the stats, it's not to like try to analyze and give a bunch of information out. I just basically look and see how hard people hit the ball. And you can only get those stats on the ATP side. The WTA, you will find out, is even worse. But even like this, that's why I say it's built well. Like this is good information. Like I love the ATP stats. So basically, what I do is I come in here, I go Tommy Paul, Medvedev. I go down to the bottom, see how hard they hit the ball. Okay, Tommy Paul is hitting it a little bit harder, max, but they're basically putting their first serves in at the same pace and their second serves in at the same pace. Okay, so nobody bullied anybody. So all the rest of these stats just basically tells you the same thing the score does. Medvedev played better than Tommy Paul, so I don't know that I can take much from that. Oh yeah, yeah. You can see if somebody double faulted and a bunch of shit away. No, they both double faulted 4 times. Aces. Medvedev had a couple more, but none of them were crazy. You can look and see who won the big points. Sometimes you can find out like who's got. No, I don't think we should spend any more time over here. Let's do the same thing over here for Giron and Arthur Fees. Let's see who the bully might be over here. Max speed 126, 138. Arthur Fees hits the ball harder. He's bringing in his first serve an average of 12 miles an hour faster, and his second serve 11 miles. You know what? Those are not good numbers, Giron. You have to hit the ball harder than that if you want to move up in the rankings. Anyways, Giron, we were following him as of yesterday, but since I cut it down to the top 25, he's out of the mix, so he'll have to keep winning so we can hopefully one day talk about him again. But for the time being, nothing else there. Okay, now to this pile of shit, the WTA site. Even worse than the ATP site because they don't have as much cool stuff like information that you can dig around for. It's all just poorly put together. Like, it's just so bad. I feel sorry for the poor developers. Oh, I know why I pulled this up is because I want to do that test with the content. With the content, with the video, see if I get copyright stricken. Okay, so over here, yeah, I pulled up Svitolina versus Pegula's stats, and you don't get the raw speed, so there's almost no point. I watched a bunch of that match. Svitolina hits the ball pretty hard, actually. Pretty well matched. Pegula was doing her thing. It was good. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Okay, so here's my copyright test. What do I have over here? Oh yeah, and then women's singles. Yeah, Pegula wins the first and then 6-1, 6-2. So that might be one of those situations where, because I think it was 1-0 in the second when they had a big break for rain. So she just didn't come out with the same mental fortitude as she had before the rain. That's too bad. I thought she was going to do well this tournament. Okay, so let's pull up a little bit of copyright stricken potentially content. And where was the other place I wanted to see something? Yeah, from here. And then I want to go to completed. Paribus. That's right. And singles. And I'm going to pull up one of these highlights second. But first I'm going to pull up this Svitolina stuff. And we'll see what I can get away with watching on stream.
Worked her over with another very good return. And
I like that pink and red. better.
Great coverage.
Covers the court so well.
Does really well to turn her around like that.
Nasty. That was nasty. Okay, let's go fast forward. And I think we got enough. All right, we don't have to fast forward. I think we got enough of this. I don't think it's going to be loud. I think we're going to be strict.
Oh, it paid off.
Real finesse about that.
Start there, and then let's do another test with, it looks like Tennis Channel content loads from Tennis Live, built by fans for fans. If I hit highlights here, so let's do it anyways.
Oh, wow. What a point that was from Medvedev. You don't often see him return like that.
He's still actually, when you think he's just getting to the ball, he's not. He's getting to the ball and aiming at it where he wants it. This is so goddamn long.
Well, there's no stopping him.
Running around the backhand. And he gets the that way.
And now it's Medvedev that has no answers.
This is 11 minutes long. No mess. Oh, it is.
It's so good. Just when you...
Yeah, they're not going to let that go. Okay, I think this is going to get copyright stricken for both those two videos, and I think I played a small snippet of that other video earlier. So, I guess we'll learn something today about what I can get away with, because if I can get away with small snippets like that, then I can actually prepare a point or two every now and then. Who knows? I doubt it, though. We'll find out. Okay, so Paribus, we don't need you open anymore. We'll come back here. So where are we at and what do we got today? That's what we should do. We should look at what we got today. So, what's upcoming? That's what we want to know. And I think we have 4 matches today, and I am excited to watch several of them. Yeah, so we're the other half of the round of 16 for both sides. We should have 4 Americans. 2 of them are going to have to play each other. Only 3 Americans on the roster now because technically Nakashima's not on there anymore. So on the men's side, we have Taylor Fritz versus Jack Draper. Draper is the British young gun. Their great hope. Like they want him to be the next Andy Murray. He's pretty darn good. He's hitting partners with Shelton. Like I should have put him in that group earlier with Fonseca and Shelton and Arthur Fils. Yeah, so Arthur Fils for France, Draper for Britain, Shelton's our guy. Fonseca is the hope of Brazil. And then Nakashima and Shelton. So that's going to be, Nakashima's 32nd seed versus Shelton 11th seed. You think, oh, you watch their games and Shelton's more dynamic. Well, his serve is just so unbelievable. We'll get into it some other time. But I don't know that that's going to be an easy win for him because Nakashima and him have probably played each other a million times. Let's go look. Let's go to look. So let's go. Let's pull up Shelton. Then Shelton. And then let's go to all results. Head to head. And let's add in Nakashima. And as professionals, see that why they've played each other as kids growing up, like they're the same age basically. coming up. Like they probably played each other another 30 times outside of this. I could be totally wrong on that. Somebody set me straight if I'm assuming that coming up as kids they played in all these like fucking incredible top ranked tournaments also, and they probably did, but we'll find out. As pros, Shelton got Nakashima here, Shelton got Nakashima here, Shelton got Nakashima. So it might be just one of those things that Shelton is just not scared of him at all. 7576, 7676, 767575. He's barely beating him. Well, anyways, that's that for that match. Fritz and Draper, we already went over. On the women's side, we got Coco. Oh, we got 5 Americans today. So Coco, Belinda Bencic, a wild card, but I've heard her name a lot. I don't. She's maybe a scary wild card, but Coco should be able to handle that. Come on. Madison Keys versus Vekic. I think Keys is playing just as good as she was in the Australian Open. Um, hopefully she just can bully her way to the finals. That would be great. And then we'll just see how those matches go today, and then we will go from there. Reviews 1. Talking to the ether. All right. Well, with that all said, let's go back to the main cam and close it out. We went over yesterday's results. We went over what we got coming up today. Exciting stuff. And we will just go from there. I'm going to watch some of these. It looks like I've got Coco at 11 a.m. Madison at 12:10 p.m. Are they all afternoon matches? Fritz 1:20 p.m. Yep, all the Americans are during the day. So, that's good for me. I can have it on. I don't know how much I'll be able to watch, but I'll try to watch as much as I can. And we'll see everybody tomorrow for another Miss It Tennis hitting sesh. Till then, what should I do? Let's pick up these balls and get out of here. Let's pick up the balls and get out of here. Let's pick up the balls and get out of here. All right. Until then, let's pick up all these tennis balls and get the heck out of here.